Feel the speed, the thrill, yeah. High octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast. track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. NFR, lights are green. Zooming fast, slick machine. Every twist, every scene. Catch the action on your screen. NFR, yeah. NFR, yeah. Drama high, stars afar. Round the track like a shooting star. Feel the rush, NFR. Lap by lap, watch them spin. Victory's close, who will win? In our heads, the engine's din. NFR, let's begin. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline, flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. The checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Draw unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on this stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. Checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Drawn falls, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on the stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. like a shooting star. The engines roar, the tires scream. That's
fast as lightning, it's the dream. Speed and drama every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend, where the champions transcend. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Fernando calls the play on NFR every race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Now Fernando calls the play on NFR at race day. Commentary sharp and loud, hyping up the roaring crowd. Feel the power at NFR, burning tracks, driving far, where the races never end. NFR, only friend. Death Queen, the top supporter scene. In the crowd where speed is keen. NFR, the place to be. Join the race, watch and see. In the quiet lanes of Silverstone Town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill.
Feel the speed, the thrill, yeah. High octane drama can't get off fill. Engines roaring loud, heartbeats on the rise. On NFR, see the sparks in our eyes. Racing through the night, chasing every turn. On NFR, adrenaline we burn. Pit stops and fast cars, it's a wild ride. NFR, in our veins we can't hide. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. Yeah. Every lap a story, every driver's dream. On NFR, racing's the supreme. Checkered flags waving, champions arise. NFR brings the glory to our eyes. NFR, where the legends are born. Speeding past the limits, engines reborn. In the fast lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. NFR with the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR's lane, every second counts. NFR, the thrill always mounts. NFR, feel the rush, feel the speed. Formula One dreams, we take the lead. On NFR, we're flying high. Under the lights, we touch the sky. You move to NFR, feel the speed. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We go SAFRL the show. Engines roar, lights will glow. Feel the rush, feel the flow. Every lap, a twist, a turn. Speeding fast, rubber burn. Crowds cheer, hearts churn. Victory, what we yearn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Victory, what we earn. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride. Crashes, spins on the track. Up and down, who's coming back? Champions rise, no slack. Push to the front, never back. Pit stops, precision, gold. Strategy, daring, bold. Who will lead, not foretold. Speed and skill, tales unfold. SAFRL, we ride. Highs and lows side by side. Drama here can't hide. Racing fast in full stride.
Legends roar, the crowd goes wild. SAFRL under the lights. Tuesday night a battle begins. Speeding hearts chasing winds. Pit stops are lightning fast. Every second a driver must grasp. Bumps and spins on curves so tight. Fighting for glory beneath the twilight. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. The checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Draw unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on this stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine. Checkered flag is waving near. Fans are cheering, can you hear? Highs and lows in every lap. Draw unfolds, no time for a nap. Competitors push with all their might, risking it all in the fight. Victory awaits the bold and brave. Legends are born on the stage. SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Adrenaline rush and flashing lights. Tears and triumphs on the line. In the race of life at 8 p.m. shine.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to NFR. Welcome back to SAFRL on a Tuesday night. Of course, it's just after 8 p.m. and we're about ready to go. Remember, tonight is a sprint race. We're going to follow the same format SKR did on Sunday night. So we're just going to have a one-shot quali, and that's going to be going straight into the sprint race, followed by another one-shot quali for the feature race. Of course, in one-shot quali, I can't really give you any meaningful commentary. The names are just jumping up and down. The only thing I can give you as an indicator is look at the timesheets. Whoever's on top of that timesheet, well, they're going quickest at the moment. But of course, that can change corner to corner. That's why you see some of these names switching positions quite frantically. Of course, this makes the night a little bit shorter, but it also means that the drivers spend a little less time out on track. Gotta lock that setup in. Just get one lap. If you make a mistake on that lap, well, you're going to start from the rear of the field. As things stand, it's a Red Bull 1-2. Like I say, these things can change from corner to corner. Currently riding with X3, the man in P2, and this is the man that's quickest so far. Weeze, he goes over the line. Is he going to hold on to that? Yes, he does. 130.5, and pole position goes to Weeze. Get through your results real quick of the one-shot quali going into the sprint race. Weeze takes pole position. It's Paris going to be alongside him on the front row. It's all Red Bull. Then Jonas P3, Levy P4. We've got Sugar Bear in P5. I think that's Boom in P6, Virus P7, Andre P8, Skull P9, and Top Gun makes up the top 10. Bit of work to do if you're outside the top 10. Martin P11, Spikes P12, Harsh Cartoon 13, Skull's going from 14, Poinkies 15, and Big Rhino will come from the rear of the field. Good evening, Visor. Welcome to the stream. You're here just in time for the sprint race, and you're here just in time to hear the elevation in my voice as I see the raindrops falling in the pits. Don't think, I wonder how many drivers would have thought of this. Will there be rain in the sprint race? And then of course, what does this mean for the feature race? Are we going to see more rain? Will this be the only session we see in the rain? Of course, if a driver does have a terrible sprint race and at the rear of the field, that doesn't mean he's going to start at the rear of the field. This race will not determine the field or the starting grid for the feature race. We're going to have what we just had for sprint quali, just the one lap. So welcome to all of the viewers. Ubuntu, Death Queen, Visor. I think I saw Skull in here earlier. Don't think he's here any longer. All of his focus is on the right hand side, on the left hand side of our screens. And there we go. We should get 2 green lights. There we go. Confirmation. It's going to give the drivers an opportunity to go around the circuit, try and get some sort of preparation into those tires, into those brakes. The cars won't be fully loaded with fuel. Sprint race is about 1/3 of the feature race. rain can sometimes act like an equalizer. Some drivers who are very quick in the wet, or rather very quick in the dry, sometimes doesn't translate. Other times translates perfectly. Visor coming with a prediction of a very early safety car. Let's hope that's not the case, and if we do get a safety car, let it be late in the race to reignite the race. At the rear of the field, got the RB of Big Rhino. Lots of talk of that second RB seat. Rumors circling that Yuki Tsunoda will take that seat in Japan. It means Lawson would have the shortest Red Bull career of anyone, just the 2 rounds. If that were to be the case, looks like Red Bull aren't interested in holding on to Lawson at all, which means he wouldn't go back to RB. And Christian Horner and Helmut Marko were spotted having a very lengthy conversation with Franco Colapinto after the Grand Prix on Sunday. Might see a situation where Franco Colapinto has to be loaned from Alpine to take that second RB seat. And see the 2 disqualifications there on your screen. That's either because they had a bump or they didn't get their parking right. And as we saw on Sunday, China gives us the best view of the start, doesn't it? We can't see a thing. You're going to have to listen for those red lights. There we go, we can try do that. There's the man in P2, it's Ferrari. And off we go. Of course, a very different start when you're in the wet conditions. Got to be so careful. And here into turn 1. Ooh, that's a bit of bravery. That's a bit of bravery. Jonas not wasting any time going into turn 1 in these conditions. And just throwing everything in at it. He immediately splits the Red Bulls. Wee still leads the way. Jonas in P2. Then it's Ferrari. No need for a tyre screen this time around. Everyone on the intermediate tyre. So it's still Wheeze from Jonas, then it's Ferrari in P3, but he's starting to lose touch. This is Wheeze, you can just see how that car is slipping and sliding at the back. Jonas will be in second place, he will have seen that slide. It just gives you a little bit more confidence when you know the guy in front of you is struggling. See how close he is this time. Of course, no DRS available in these conditions. Trying to make an overtake, you're going to have to rely on late braking and your battery management more important than ever. It's the only tool you have. Hello to Captain Slow, this time not on the circuit but in the comment section. Good to have you. Jonas goes over the line, 49.6. It's gone past Wheeze. Now the Red Bulls, they started P1 and 2, they're now down 2 and 3. Each lost a position. Surely Wheeze is not going to let this go lightly. Would be a very interesting scenario in the middle of the sprint race. The rain suddenly stopped. Of course, not usual to see a pit window in a sprint race. That is what would happen, and it would really stir up the field. I think the guys at the front just want these next 8 laps to go by as quickly as possible. spoken about the top three enough. A little further back, Levy is in P4 for Mercedes. Then we've got Sugar Bear, there he is in the Papaya McLaren. We've got Skull in P6 and an Aston Martin. Then we've got the pair of Sauber. One is Boom, one is Martin. Andre, the lead Ferrari, in P9. Then Virus P10. Spikes P11. Top Gun P12. I was just going to say Spikes just outside the points, but not quite. It's just the sprint race. Only the top 8. Only the top 8 will get points, not the regular 10. Jonas over the line. Sets another fastest lap. But Wee's doing a good job to hold on. Remember, no DRS. So he's not able to just get towed around. That is 7/10 of a second. The gap a little bigger than it's ever been in the race. Jonas will be looking to shake off this Red Bull. Any sort of incident that causes a safety car, we can mix things up. So far, no retirements, no penalties, no safety cars of any kind. In intermediate conditions, 16 drivers on the track. I'd say that's pretty good. You were riding briefly with the leader, Jonas, in the Alpine. Still followed by those two Red Bulls, Weeze and It's Ferrari. Then the lead Mercedes in P4. His teammate Skulk down in P16 with a penalty next to his name. Then Sugar Bear, the only McLaren present here today. He's in P5. Skull sitting nicely in P6, picking up a couple of points. But you need to be in the top 8. When I started watching F1, Formula 1 was a little bit more stingy with its points. Only the top 6 got points, and 6th place was only worth 1 point. It's 10 for a victory, 6 for P2, and then it would just go down one by one. Nothing changes at the front. Still the Alpine from the two Red Bulls. Levy still in P4. We haven't seen a lot of overtaking, a lot of position changes. Looks like everybody's just holding station. Of course, this is the effect of no DRS. Top Gun, he's just lost the position, gone down into P11. He got overtaken there by the Williams. Spikes into P10. It's not enough for points though. He's going to have to make up some more positions. We're almost at halfway distance. It's just a 10 lap race. When we do get into the feature race, that's going to be 29 laps. Is it 28 or 29? I can't remember, but one or the other. I think it's 28 actually. Jonas goes over the line, set a new fastest lap, and it's Ferrari takes that fastest lap away. We have a Red Bull down the field. Yes, we do. Red Bull in the pits. Was that for a... Yes, it was. He's got onto the slick tyre. He's gone onto the medium. Rather surprised he didn't go onto the soft. I think you'll be able to get temperature into the softs a little quicker. And there's only 5 laps to go. Surely they can hold on that long. But Weeze has chosen to go on the medium tyre. Your leader, Jonas, well, he stayed out there. As is the man in P2, it's Ferrari. No visible raindrops, no visible standing water. Track looks pretty bone dry. Something about F124, that track evolution, I just think it happens too quickly. It just happens way too quickly. It stops raining, and 2/3 of a lap later it's bone dry. Or you simply get one of those races that we've had on this channel where nobody knows what the conditions are. Half the field's on slicks, half the field is on inters, and the track sort of just waves between the two. That's a 141. Not sure if I could do that in qualifying in the dry. More and more cars coming into the pits. They're seeing those lap times. Jonas still going quickly, still in P1. He's not interested in a pit stop. He's going to hold on to track position. Remember, everybody that does pit, you lose about 20 to 25 seconds in that pit stop. So Jonas would have to lose an incredible amount of time on those intermediates in order for anyone to catch him. All of the top 5 drivers are on intermediates. If you just look at that track map, we're riding with Top Gun, and he's just gone quickest of all in Sector 2. So it's an interesting situation. Is it slicks? Is it inters? Have they gone too early? I think the gap you want to focus on is the gap between P5 and 6. If there is an advantage to the slick tyre, then you will see that gap dramatically fall. It's currently at 11.4. You're not going to be able to tell down the straights as soon as they start getting into the corners. It's going to become quite evident. The gap now drops into 10 seconds. It is closing. Will it close fast enough? Well, there's your answer. Jonas, he just set a fastest lap and he's still on the intermediate. Well, he's coming into the pits. Jonas leads the way. He's got a very large gap to Andre, who's currently in P2. What a result that would be, coming out of absolutely nowhere. It's lap 7 of 10, but is he going to be able to keep those inters intact? Of course, might be able to do a lap or two on a dry track with the inters. Eventually the overheating becomes quite impossible to drive. But for now, Andre doing a good job in P2. Watch that gap between P2 and P3. That is an inter runner versus a soft runner. It's 6.9 seconds. Andre will be watching that time, hoping he made the right choice. There's no time to turn around now. If Jonas or Andre were to pit now, well, they'd come out outside of the points. So they've just sort of got to accept that they made that decision and stay with it. Two Red Bulls, 3 and 4. Fastest lap going the way of Jonas. So he's not really having any issues. Still, he's faster than all of those slick runners behind him. So has the track really evolved into slicks, or did those drivers just go in a few laps too early? The gap has come down between P2 and P3. That was at 5.9 seconds a lap ago. It's now at 5 seconds. So Andre loses 9/10 of a second on that last lap. If he were able to keep that average, well, then he would finish in P2. All depends on those tires. Can happen quite suddenly. Just reach a certain temperature and become quite unmanageable. And there's not much of a distance in the race to try and cool them down. Got to push. The gap still comes down. 3.1 seconds now between the top slick runner and the top two. Said it would be interesting if we got a pit window in the middle of a sprint race, and that's what we got. Shuffled up the field a little bit. Drivers had to make a choice. Stay out, hold on to track position, or come into the pits. Two drivers out front, they chose to stay out, but Andre, he's going to come under pressure shortly. There's the Ferrari, currently in P2. Just got one more lap to survive. There is the Red Bull just behind him. I haven't seen the notification for DRS being active, so I don't know if we're going to see DRS on this final lap. Jonas has a comfortable lead. It's Ferrari has stolen P2 away. Andre now down to P3, but he's got quite the gap down to Weeze. Should be able to maintain this podium. Just needs to bring this car home. Lap 9 of 10. Jonas going past the traffic. Lapping cars in a sprint race, lapping cars in a 10-lap race. Welcome to Nas. My Afrikaans is not fantastic. And I was sitting quite a distance from my laptop, so I actually didn't read Nas. I read Haas, and I was like, wait a second, who is this guy? Haaspoorter. Jonas still leads the way. It's Ferrari now sets the fastest lap of the race. That means the track has now come to the slicks. But it's too late. Look at the gap. 14 seconds. But I think if this race had another 2 or 3 laps, well, its Ferrari would be all over the back of that Alpine. Of course, if you saw the little intro, you would have seen League versus League. Will be returning to NFR as soon as next Monday. 4 leagues, 4 drivers from each league. It's going to be live on NFR as soon as I have more details about the calendar, about the length of the season. It will all be advertised on this channel. I'll probably let you know on Sunday at SKR. Jonas stayed out there, made the inters last, but by the time he goes over the line, that lead was withered down to just 9 seconds. So it definitely came to the inters at the end. You can see another fastest lap for its Ferrari, and then Weeze takes it. So all the slick runners was just starting to have fun. They just ran out of laps. 10-second penalty for an unserved penalty. That goes the way of Martin. It's added on to his race time and ensures he won't finish in the points. Just have to wait now for everybody to cross the checkered flag. Now remember, in the next session, don't be alarmed, it's going to get off pretty quickly. There's no 18-minute qualifying session coming up. We're just getting a one-shot quali. Means everybody's going to have just one opportunity to get around the track as quickly as possible and set that field, and then we get straight on into the race. Jonas took the victory, ended up making the right choice. Had it been another lap or two, I think it would have been very much the wrong choice. Andre gets driver of the day for the sprint race. And there are your results real quick, and the music that's going to get me copyrighted. Jonas finishes the race in P1, it's for P2, then Wheeze P3, good result for the two Red Bulls. Andre in P4, just missing out on the podium. Levy P5, Sugar Bear P6, Spikes P7, and Top Gun takes the final point. Just outside the points, P9 for Skull, then Martin P10, Boinkies 11, followed by Harsh Cartoon, Big Rhino, Virus, Boom, and at the rear of the field, Skulk. And welcome back. We're looking at the empty pit lane again. Like I said, when we get going, it's going to be really quick. Just going to cut out of the pits and straight into a car. Don't be alarmed. And of course, just the one lap. That means even the quickest drivers in the field, just one mistake could mean you go to the rear of the field. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some quick drivers at the rear of the field, because they're just trying to make the race a little bit more interesting for themselves. Now we get the timer. Gonna get straight off into that one lap quali. Personally, my least favorite quali, whether it's driving it or commentating on it, because you can't commentate on it, you just sort of got to watch. Like I said, straight into the cockpit of a car. Let's see if we can get to the driver who's in P1. You can see it's just flipping up and down. Spikes was in provisional pole for the first couple of corners. But that leaderboard does give you an indication of who is where currently on the lap. Jonas, P2, Wheeze leads the way so far. But of course, all of this means nothing. One corner, and you can go from the top right to the bottom. And there's no second chances. Of course, how this works is every driver right now is on a track of their own. So nobody can see anybody else. Got clean air, lots of space. I suppose if you're really looking for a positive out of one-shot quali, at least you don't need to worry about running into traffic. Looks like Wheeze is going to take it as he goes into the final corner. Takes a little bit of curb on the outside, goes over the line, and it's going to be a Red Bull 1-2, as it was. for the sprint race. And there's your results for qualifying real quick. Wies and SAFRL will line up on the front row again, the two Red Bulls. Then Jonas, winner of the sprint race, he's going to go from P3. Martin P4, then we've got a McLaren of Sugarbear in P5. Spikes P6, Virus P7, Top Gun P8, Harsh Cartoon P9, and Boom in P10. Outside of the top 10, Skull P11, Andre P12, Boinkies 13, Skulk 14, Rhino 15, and Levy, well, he's going from the rear of the field. There we go, we're looking at the pits again, but my eyes are going towards the top of the screen. I don't know about that sky. What do you guys think about that sky? Are we going to have another touch of rain? Another touch of madness? I'm sure the quick drivers, they would just prefer a pretty straightforward race. Let them open up their gaps. But you can see from that sprint race what rain can do to an order. I think it was just Jonas and Andre, the two cars that decided to stay out. Of course, Jonas had almost a pit stop worth of buffer, so he could afford to do that. Fortunately, Andre didn't have much of a lead, and he was quickly caught when those tires switched. There's quite a few of you watching currently live on the stream. Thank you for joining. We're just about to get going for the feature race. We had a one-shot quali for the sprint, one-shot quali for the feature. Sprint race has come and gone. And now it's time for the main event. Of course, this is where you get the big points. You can win the sprint race, but that's only 8 points. You win this one, it's 25. Of course, you can still get a bonus point for the fastest lap. Of course, in IRL, in real life, that rule no longer applies. In the 2025 season, you can no longer get a bonus point for the fastest lap. And I'm guessing you can probably thank Red Bull for that. The entire Daniel Ricciardo stealing a bonus point right at the end. Some people said that Red Bull did that on purpose to stop Lando from getting the point. And then the FIA decided to scrap it all together. Comment section has gone awfully quiet. It's probably as quiet as this pit lane. Not quite sure what's going on. There's like 15 of you in here and nobody's talking. How many of those 15 are drivers? If you're not a driver, say something. Start talking in the comment section. Who do you think will take this victory, and will the two Red Bulls be able to hold on to their lead this time? In the sprint race, Jonas wasted no time. Going into turn 1, he immediately split the Red Bulls. And the Red Bulls are going to have to work together if they're going to finish P1 and 2, because I don't think Jonas is going to let that happen. Another quick driver right there in P4, Martin. Driver out of position, Levy, going from P16. But we know he's a quick driver, so expect to see him come through the field. But that is easier said than done. If you're a driver used to being at the front of the field and suddenly you have to come from the rear of the field, well, you're probably going to encounter a lot of drivers that you're not used to. Hopefully no incidents, no broken wings, no madness. We had a fantastic clean start to the sprint race, and that was in the rain. So in dry conditions, No excuses. Let's get turn 1 right. Prediction, first prediction and only prediction. Come on, the rest of you. Give me a prediction for the race victory. So far, just the one prediction coming through, and that's for No Pressure. That's on Wheeze. I say No Pressure because I think he might be listening. Two Red Bulls. This is in fact exactly the order we had for the sprint race in the top 3. We saw what happened in the sprint race. Jonas was not interested in following those two Red Bulls around for a lap or two. He went straight into turn 1 and split them. This time the Red Bulls will know. Keep an eye on that driver in P3, because he's not going to wait. He sees a gap, he'll take it. Gonna have to take, we'll go with the driver in P3, so we don't get a fantastic camera angle until turn 1. There are the 5 red lights, and all of them light up. There'll be a pause, and when they go out we'll get underway. Good start for the Alpine. Oh, not a great start by Wheeze. He had a bit of wheel spin there, but Jonas this time, no deep dive into turn 1. He's going to wait a little longer this time round. Of course, it's a much longer race, 28 laps, so almost 3 times longer than we had in the sprint race. You need to manage yourself. You can't break the front wing on lap 1. And he thought about it. He thought about it. Went to the inside. F3 had to cover him off. We've got a caution. We've got a caution. Lots of position changes at the rear of the field. That has not triggered anything beyond. Caution has since disappeared. Wheeze leads the way. Don't read too much into those pit stop strategies. Sometimes they're just really nonsensical. Wheeze leads from its free, so the Red Bulls have been able to hold on to their 1-2 a lot longer than they did in the sprint race. It's Jonas just managing his time, managing his tyres. We bring up the tyre screen so you can have an idea of what's going on. The top 5 drivers all on the hard tyre. Virus the first of the medium runners. In fact, just 3 drivers going for that medium compound. It's Virus up in P6, and then 2 drivers lower down the field, Skulk in P14 and Rhino in P15. The rest of the field all on the hard compound. Early days, Wheeze, Free, Jonas. And look at that second Red Bull coming under so much pressure. Let's ride with its free and look back from his rear wing. He's actually just gone quicker, or set the quickest sector 1 of the race. So its free is pushing. Reason I say these 2 Red Bulls need to work together if they can maintain. Ooh, virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. The drivers in front, well, they'll be a little relieved that it's not a full safety car. That just nullifies all the gaps. Of course, what a virtual safety car will do is sort of stops the race. Everybody needs to drive within an average delta until that virtual safety car goes away. Then we can get going once again. Point obviously of the virtual safety car was to have not as many stoppages in Formula 1. Still Red Bull 1-2, and now speeding under the safety car for Martin. Oh, that is frustrating. We've seen those penalties so many times. You're just on the wrong side of the delta as the virtual safety car ends, and you get hit with a pretty harsh penalty. So the Red Bulls maintain 1-2 at the restart. Jonas maintains P3. Martin, he's in P4, but he'll be frustrated with that penalty now. Probably be bursting inside the helmet. It's Ferrari. Got that completely messed up, didn't I? It's Ferrari's up in P2. I'm commentating on It's Spikes. I'll rather just call him Spikes so I don't get confused again. And then top medium runner, Virus. Maybe just going with that medium, hoping to have a good start, make up a few positions. Well, he's currently in P6. We've got a prediction for Weeze to take the race. We've got a prediction for Jonas to take the race. And look at that, the Aston Martin goes alongside the kick, but he just sort of ran out of space because he got blocked by the Williams, so he had to back off. And that'll be a little frustrating. He had that Sauber perfectly lined up, got blocked by the Williams, and had to maintain his position. The Red Bulls have been split for the first time in this feature race. Weeze 1.2 seconds up the road from Jonas, who's the new driver in P2. It's Ferrari down one place. The top three are starting to pull away. Spikes best of the rest in P4, 2.5 seconds away from that top three. It's only lap 4. This Top Gun defending from an Aston Martin. Not too much you can do about the Aston Martin up the road. That's 2.5 seconds up the road. There's an Aston Martin right in his mirrors. That's Skull in P7. Let's have a look at the view from Top Gun. That is close, that is close. Almost looked like contact, but I didn't see anything flying off that Aston Martin. So lucky for Skull. That could have been an absolute disaster. This is Skull now with DRS. He's probably going to use battery as well. Doesn't want to use too much of it, but you need something to defend with. But very nicely done. And almost gets overtaken on the inside by Levy. And he does get overtaken on the inside by Levy. Going to be able to maintain the inside into the final corner. Oh well, Levy goes around the outside. And the man that started from the rear of the field, the man that started in P16, is now up into P6. Told you he was out of position. Virus in P5. Spikes, that's the driver we're running with now. Of course, Williams in 2025 have officially beaten the 2024 Constructors' points after just 2 rounds. Sauber have also scored more points in 2 rounds than they did last season. Weeze leads from Jonas. It's Ferrari in P3, Spikes P4, then Virus, then Levy. Skull in P7. In the 2 Ferraris, Top Gun and Andre, 8 and 9, final point, currently going to Boinkies. We didn't see many penalties in the sprint race. Hopefully we don't see any penalties in this feature race. It's one of the widest circuits on the calendar. two Red Bulls back to where they were in the early stages of the sprint race. They started P1 and 2. Jonas just took a little bit of extra time this time, didn't go into turn 1, gave it a lap or two. Now he's attacked the one Red Bull, gotten past, attacked the next Red Bull, gotten past, and now he's in the lead of the race. The difference this time around is they will have DRS. People in the comment section giving me a fright there. Who's that? Visor, rain, rain, rain. Quickly jump. Ooh, he's right. It's raining. There's a drop on our screens. We just saw a drop. There we go. There's more of them. It's officially raining. When do you come into the pits? Do you come into the pits immediately? They're not far away from that pit lane entry, or do you stay on the track for another lap? How quickly will the track evolve? We saw how quickly it got dry in the sprint race. Reese goes to the inside, takes the position back from Jonas. Now it's follow the leader. Who does what? Who pits? Who jumps onto the inters? And of course you can't get onto those inters too early, because then you're just wasting time. All of the top drivers have stayed out on track. No one coming into the pits. There are definitely drops falling, but I don't think the track is quite ready for anything other than slicks. Now if that were me in a Red Bull sandwich, well, I'd be feeling very uncomfortable. Trying to attack, trying to defend all at once. But it seems like seems like he's enjoying it. Look in front of you, you see a Red Bull rear wing. Look in your mirrors, you see a Red Bull front wing. Just before we got that virtual safety car, I was saying how those two Red Bulls could work together to keep Jonas behind. It's by using DRS. Wheeze keeping its free within DRS. Jonas in P3 wouldn't be able to utilize his DRS to get past. Jonas would have a toe of his own, rather Isfari would have a toe of his own. But now, Jonas breaks clear at the front again. Red Bulls can't let him go too easily this time round. Remember, raindrops are falling. The entire field is still on slicks. Nobody has made that call yet. And it seems like everybody's going around yet again. I would assume that means nobody's slipping and sliding just yet. I think as soon as they feel any sort of slippery, they will come into the pits. But not quite yet. Not even the drivers at the rear of the field come into the pits. Of course, when the rain does arrive, we have no idea what kind of rain is going to arrive. And what I mean by that is we could have a splash of intermediate conditions, maybe end the race in the dry again. That would be interesting. Or we could have inters that turn into full wets, or we can simply just have intermediates till the end of the race. Would be a very interesting scenario if things got wet and then things got dry at the end of the race, forcing drivers to use their strategic abilities. This is the second Red Bull, just 9/10 of a second behind his teammate. Really can't go beyond that 1 second mark. The moment he loses DRS, he's really going to have a difficult time holding on to the two up the road. So needs to respond, needs to close the gap, and this will just help him. As the two in front of him go side by side fighting for the lead, that'll just allow his free to come back. We saw the gap just pop over a second and it's suddenly back to 3/10. And that's what happens when the two drivers in front of you start to engage. I get a bit of a delay on the comment section of about 15 seconds, but Visor's saying pit lap 9. This is lap 9. There we go. Virus has come into the pits. We can see that he's right at the bottom of the field in P15 on a set of intermediates. He's just come out back on circuit. Now, if this was in real life, of course the other drivers would, or the other teams rather, would start watching Virus on those inters. Is he slipping? Is he sliding? Is he closing gaps? And the moment he starts to close gaps, everyone else will come in. But of course, in the game, track evolves really quickly. You may not have time to pick up that sort of data. Track could be very drivable in the slicks in the very next lap. Absolutely not. This is Jonas. Is the car doing any slipping? Doesn't appear to be the case. He stays out. Wee stays out. It's Faris stays out. Where is Spikes? Best of the rest. Does he come into the pits? No, he doesn't. Follows the example of the three up the road. Levy stays out. Nobody coming into the pits just yet. Just that one driver, that was Virus. And as I say that, Skull, just to prove me wrong, as I say, no one coming in, pulls into the pits. Of course, he will go onto the intermediate tyre. There's a Haas also in the pits. You can see the guys at the rear of the field, they're just pitting first, throwing the dice, hoping that they win a few positions with that early stop. All of the drivers in the front, well, they're still out there on the slick tyre. In fact, the top 8 are all, the top 9, sorry, are all on the slick tyre. Jonas followed by the two Red Bulls. This is Spikes in P4, then Levy, the lead Mercedes. Remember, he came up the order from P16 to P6 pretty quickly. Momentum has slightly slowed. He's now in P5, but coming up close on a Williams. His next target will be P4. And then unfortunately for him, the top 3, well, they're a little bit far up the road. One advantage Levy will have, he'll have a lot of clean air. Are we just ignoring the rain? It's an interesting scenario because it doesn't look to be getting much harder than when we first spotted it. As soon as we see these drivers slipping and sliding everywhere, let's go to Big Rhino. He's on a set of medium tyres. He's actually just come into the pits. Who's the lead slick runner? Rather, the lead inter runner. The lead inter runner is Spikes. So let's keep our eye on this gap. The top 5 drivers have stayed out, still on the hard tyre. This gap is 18.6 seconds. If you see it drop dramatically, it means it's time for inters. Can you let me know in the comment section? I didn't see it. Has DRS been disabled? I think it's still in there. I haven't seen the notification. And usually, if you're not sure of conditions, that little notification is a clear time to switch. The moment it says DRS is off, that means the track is damp and you should be on inters. Remember, we spoke about the gap between the lead intermediate and Top Gun. That's 5 and 6. Gap was 19 seconds. It's now 17.1. So the times are coming down, but not too dramatically. It's Faris. It's Faris comes into the pits. I think he knew he had to do something. If they went around for one more lap and then Wheeze came into the pits, that would force SAFRL into a double stack and take him out of that top 3 situation. So he's decided to pit a lap earlier, and I assume Wheeze and Jonas will pit on the next lap. Big slide for Wheeze, very big slide for Wheeze. Fantastic job to hold on to it. That almost looked like, ooh, what year was that? I think it was probably 88 or 89, I'm not sure, but it was a fantastic pass from Nelson Piquet around the outside of Ayrton Senna with full opposite lock. Car slid very much like what you saw that Red Bull slide, except he was making an overtake around the outside when he did it. Jonas still out front, still ahead of Wheeze. Levy the man in P3, he has also chosen not to pit, so now the top 3 are the drivers on the slick tyre. I think SAFRL might have just pulled off a... Has he pulled off a masterclass? Or has he pit too early? Where are the leaders? What are they doing? Well, there's your answer. There are the leaders. Jonas into the pits. Wheeze into the pits. Levy in P3. Surely he's going to come into the pits as well. We saw that huge slide from the Red Bull. Staying out there for even one more lap. It's probably not advisable. Has Levy stayed out? No, he hasn't. He's come into the pits as well. Here comes Jonas, he exits the pits. Has he held on to the lead? No, he hasn't. It's SAFRL. Called it. Pit a lap earlier than his teammate, pit a lap earlier than the leader of the race. And he somehow jumped them both. That's the power of the undercut. And that's the power of getting that tyre swap at the exact right moment. Always a difficult time when the rain is coming and you're not quite sure when to swap the tyres. Staying out there for one extra lap could cost you so much time. Fortunately for Jonas and Wheeze, you don't have to worry too much. They've got a lot of speed. SAFRL, the leader of the race, briefly had a gap of over a second. It's already down to 9/10. So Jonas has reeled him back. There will be no DRS. Same as the sprint race. The only tool you have at your disposal is that battery. Maybe some good old-fashioned slipstream. It's SAFRL and Jonas going side by side. Look at this. Look at this. It's SAFRL. Thought about going back to the inside. And I think he just visualized the accident in his head and thought better of it. Look at the defense going almost into the pit wall trying to defend. It's SAFRL had enough speed to go around. It's around the inside in turn 1. It's SAFRL leads the way yet again. And as these two battle, hopefully Wheeze can rejoin this battle. He's 2 seconds down the road. Spikes still best of the rest in P4. He's doing a fantastic job in that Williams, holding things together. And then remember Levy, the man on the move, started in P16. And if things finish just like this, he would clearly be driver of the day. Got Andre in P6, that's the lead Ferrari. Skull P7. Boinky's picking up a couple of points there in P8. Top Gun P9. And Rhino Well, he's in the points. Doing a fantastic job there for the one and only RB on the calendar. And look what we've just joined. We've joined side by side, and we didn't get a good view of that because it was behind the timing screen. Almost looked like there was contact. I don't think there was any contact. I don't see anyone missing any carbon fiber. And nobody's lost any real momentum. What this has done is it's let Wheeze close in. That gap now 9/10 of a second. Just doesn't have that DRS. That DRS can help you so much, even if the drivers in front of you are 2 or 3 tenths quicker every single lap. You get that DRS, you open it up, just allows you to reel the car in front of you back in, and regardless of him being quicker, you're getting that DRS advantage. In the rain, you don't get that DRS advantage, and if the man ahead of you is quicker, well, over time the gaps simply get wider and wider. You can see Spike's still best of the rest, but that gap was 7 seconds. It's now up to 11. Top 3 just doing their own thing. Quite a few of you watching, only 5 likes on the video, so if your hands are free and you're not in a cockpit of a car, remember to hit the like button, and of course if it's your first visit to the channel, remember to subscribe. Of course, we do have an addition to the NFR calendar, if you want to call it that, from next week Monday. That's the 31st. The last day of the month. League v League will be returning to the NFR channel. Of course, 4 leagues. One of them, I can't quite remember what it's called, but SAFRL will not be present in the League v League, but I assure you some of their drivers will be, just under the name of SKR. LSA will also be taking part. They are the League v League reigning champions, as well as Fusion Racing. And I'll figure out the name in a couple of moments. There is 4 leagues, basically how it's going to work. 4 leagues, 4 drivers from each league. That gives you a total of 16. The other 4 spots in the lobby are going to be 1 engineer for each team, and then there should be 2 commentators. We're going to try different things for round 1. We're going to have 2 separate streams. One is going to go to the Fusion Racing channel, the other one to NFR. You guys will be able to hear me on this channel. If you go over to Fusion, you will be able to hear, well, you'll be able to hear Fusion's commentator. And then maybe for round 2, we're going to try and mix it up, where we still have the 2 streams, but we're going to do co-commentary to both channels at the same time. Just 2 different camera angles, really. So there will be 2 streams available on Monday. Make sure to subscribe to both those channels, and then you can simply flick between them. We could open them both, mute the one, and get 2 camera angles. Spikes in P4. 5.7 seconds is the gap. Few people there in the comment section happy for League v League to be returning. It's going to be a good one. This will be the first time I'm commentating on Fusion. Of course, LSA was part of League v League last season. They were quite dominant at it as well. Same concept as last season, just some of the leagues may have changed around a bit. Because last season we had JPR, they will not be taking part this time round. Last time we had SAFRL, that's the league you're watching right now, they will not be taking part. I can assure you there's names on this list that will be in the League V League. They'll probably just be under the name SKR. Jonas leads from the 2 Red Bulls, and now he has gone clear. 2.1 seconds is the gap, and Weeze must have had a big one. He's 10 seconds off his teammate. He was pretty close. He was getting within DRS, and then suddenly 10-second gap. Maybe an off-track excursion. Let's have a look at the second Red Bull again, if there's any damage to it. Seems to have both its end plates. Maybe just leaving the circuit in the rain. Spike still P4, Levy still P5. Remember, he made up 10 positions in no time. Then he got up into P5, and things have just sort of gone a little stagnant. Hasn't made up any more positions. Martin becomes the first driver on the night. Not the first driver on the night. Apologies, Skulk already had a penalty. But I think Martin just picked up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's much harsher than track limits. Track limits just the 3 seconds. Speeding in the pit lane is going to get you 10 seconds, which you can either serve at your next pit stop, or it's going to be added on to your race time. Of course, another thing, I've mentioned it many times, so I know I'm repeating myself, but when you have penalties in these sort of conditions, there's always the risk of a late safety car. And in that case, those penalties, well, they'll completely destroy the race, or the result you thought you were going to get. Captain Slow saying that's going to be good racing, he's not going to miss it. Well, I hope to see all of you here, and even a few more. I think it's going to be fantastic. Same format, I believe. Just a short quali of 18 minutes, going into a 50% race. And remember that the next SAFRL race, that's next week. That is going to be the first time we have a mystery race chosen by you, chosen by the viewers of NFR. I'm going to put up a poll either after the race or tomorrow. During the course of tomorrow, I'm going to put up a poll on the YouTube channel, and I want all the viewers, all the regular viewers of this channel, just to visit the YouTube channel and just vote on that poll. We're going to put a bunch of tracks up for you to vote for. Of course, tracks that aren't on the calendar already. And obviously the one with the most votes, well, that is going to be the destination for round 3. Jonas just running away at the front, loving these conditions. 3.8 seconds, now it's free. Well, he's decided he's coming into the pits. Slow down, you don't want to do anything silly. Manages to get it stopped. He's coming into the pits, and does he have damage? It doesn't appear to be the case. No wing change, just a tyre change. He's getting on a fresh set of mediums. He's has also come into the pits. Red Bulls this time around didn't need to worry about double stacking. There was a 10-second gap between the two teammates, so they've come in on the same lap. For new inters, Jonas has decided he's going to have none of that. He's staying out there for one more lap. I think the two Red Bulls could just see that Alpine disappearing up the road, and they knew they needed to have a gamble. But unless there's a very big difference in the times, because of those tires. I just don't think they're going to catch him. We might have a similar situation to the sprint race. Look at the gap, 27 seconds. Doesn't look like it's drying up. Doesn't look like it's getting harder. I would be pretty surprised, or I am rather surprised, that the Inters are only good for those 7 laps. Drivers are already getting rid of them. Jonas, is he going to respond to the 2 Red Bulls? Yes, he does. Responds to the 2 Red Bulls immediately. Very next lap, comes into the pits. He's not going to let them close that gap anymore. He's got to be careful, doesn't want to get a penalty. These guys are so well rehearsed. They make that look easy. Into the pits, change of tyres, another set of intermediates. And he should come out in the lead, because that gap was 27 seconds. You're going to need about 20 seconds to come out of the pits. So I think, there we go. He has been able to hold on to his lead and somehow increased it. Or has he? No, there we go. It's just come down a little bit. 3.1 seconds. The difference in the lead. Everyone now on a fresh set of intermediates. And we've got a caution. Is it just a caution? Yes, it is just a caution. It disappears from our screens every time I see the yellow there on the top left. I just pause for a moment. Our commentary abilities go completely out of the window. And I'm just waiting for that safety car to pop. We didn't see one in the sprint race. We haven't seen one here. I don't think we even saw the safety car on Sunday around this circuit. It's a race with lots of safety cars. Some of you in the comment section will say you don't like it. Some of you do. I tend to like it. It closes up the field, and every time there's a restart, well, there's chances of mistakes, and there's chances of big flips in the time sheet. Things dry up. Still a few laps to go. Of course, the drivers have a lot more knowledge than me here in the comms box. I don't get any sort of weather report. Now, these drivers should have some indication of if it's going to rain to the end. It's very close to the pit wall there. There's an interesting line in the wet. It's Free. Thought he was doing that earlier to defend his position, but he does that and there's no one really around him. Second Red Bull, same thing. Well, Spikes, he's probably had the loneliest race of anyone tonight. He's been in P4 for what feels like forever. He can't see the top 3. He can't see Levy behind him. He's just having his very own practice session, has the track all to himself. At least it appears that way from where he's sitting. So far, clean driving from everyone. We've just got the one retirement that was very early on in the race, and it gave us a virtual safety car. Also got just the 2 penalties there on the left hand side of your screen. So everyone driving cleanly. Well, for now we don't know how many of these drivers are already on several warnings, how far they are away from a potential penalty. But even if Jonas were to pick up a penalty now, the lead is big enough to still win the race. Captain Slow just saying that he could have got a P3 yesterday. Landed up being at P10. Down to penalties. Penalties hurt your race. Of course they do. Remember that you could be the quickest man on this circuit by a huge margin. I'm saying winning the race by 20 seconds plus. If you're getting a penalty every second lap, well, that 20-second lead is going to mean absolutely nothing. So it's one thing to go quick, it's another thing to stay within those lines. Don't pick up any penalties. When you come into the pits, don't lose your concentration. Slow down for that pit limiter. And of course, there are some penalties that are very, very difficult to avoid. That tends to happen just after the virtual safety car. Sometimes we see that speeding under virtual safety car. It's a very harsh penalty. And most of the time the drivers, well, they definitely were not doing it on purpose. There's no indication of when that virtual safety car is going to end. Sometimes you're just on the wrong side of the delta, and 10 seconds is pretty rough. Of course, on all the previous games that would have constituted a 5-second penalty, but in F124 they doubled that to a 10-second penalty. You can really potentially just destroy your race. We are getting closer and closer to the safe zone. What is the safe zone? Well, the safe zone is when there's no more time for a safety car to come out. It's lap 25 of 28. Well, it's 24 of 28. So it can still happen. Jonas just needs to get over the line, complete lap 25, make sure we don't get any safety cars at the end of the race. Skull now picks up a 3-second time penalty. That one's gonna hurt. He's in P9, he's trying to hold on to those points. Rhino 3.2 seconds behind him. So Rhino, if you're listening, that's what you've got to close. You've got to find a 10. Get yourself within 3 seconds of Skull and you'll take that position. Fortunately for Skull, Harsh Cartoon is quite a way down the road. So he should be able to hold on to P10 for 1 point. But if things remain as they are, he will lose that P8 due to that 1 penalty. Of course, losing 1 or 2 points because of a penalty, they're in P9 and 10. It's not going to make you cry too much. But if you lose a race victory because of penalties, well, that's just painful. Jonas, it's Ferrari, Wheeze, it's been the story of the night. Alpine out front, Red Bull, the next 2 cars. The difference in the sprint race was Wheeze was the lead Red Bull. Spikes, nothing's changed, P4. Levy, he hasn't been able to make up any more ground. Went from P16 to P6 to P5 and then stayed in P5. Andre, would love to get his hands on a top 5, but unfortunately for him, he's 7 seconds down the road from Levy. There is Boinkies. And his race has not come to an end. He's in P7 and he's desperately defending from a Ferrari. Looks like he's in a Ferrari sandwich, but not quite. The Ferrari ahead of him is very far up the road. Top Gun would love to take that position away in the closing stages and then just pick up a few extra points. Speaking of points, fantastic night for Red Bull. 2 and 3 in the sprint, 2 and 3 in the race. It's a good haul of points on the night. Jonas does look like he's going to take the victory, but he's going to be the only Alpine. No second Alpine to help him with the points. This is Skull, currently in P9. We saw him get that penalty, 3-second penalty. Rhino has closed the gap to 2.5 seconds, which means he will take that P9 if the checkered flag were to fall this very moment. And Harsh Cartoon is actually getting very close to Rhino. Skull needs to open that gap to beyond 3 seconds. Otherwise he's not going to lose just the one position. He's going to lose two. And he's going to find himself just outside the points. Losing a win to penalties is painful. Losing a podium to penalties is painful. But I assure you, even losing points can be pretty painful. Going back into the cockpit of Spikes to have a look at the rain. Doesn't seem like we're going to have any drama at the end of the race. We've passed that safety car safe zone. We're not going to get any more safety cars, and it doesn't look like it's going to dry up at all. If it does, just the 2 laps left. Don't think we'll see any pit stops. It's been an interesting one. Sprint started in the rain, got dry. Feature race started in the dry, got wet. Are there any battles on track? I think this is the only battle on track. Boinkies, Top Gun, 0.3 of a second. Lines him up, thought about it, but the conditions, the lack of DRS. Top Gun had to weigh his options there and decided better of it. He's going to follow the horse around. If he had DRS, he could simply fly through over here. So it makes these conditions a little bit more difficult. They'll take your overtaking gadgets away. If you're wondering why we're following the battle for P7, because it's the only battle on our screen. Nobody else within a second of their nearest car. So we'll go back to that battle. Boinkies trying to keep that horse in P7. Harsh Cartoon would also pick up points. Skull does not need to worry about falling out of the points because of penalties. He's fallen out of the points before the penalties. So he's down in P11. Things can very quickly snowball. You pick up a penalty, you get frustrated, you try and make up time to make up for that penalty. You'll end up making one mistake and another and another, and each time you make a mistake you start driving in anger that little bit more, and a mistake is never far away. One mistake can turn into 2, can turn into 3. Eventually you scratch your head and wonder what happened. Says lap 28 of 28. Nothing Itzfari can do about the leader. Massive gaps, 7.6 seconds. Then an even bigger gap to the man in P3, 17 seconds. Then you've got Spikes, who's now starting to come under pressure. Remember, I said he was lonely. He's been having that P4 forever. Levy went stagnant in P5. Well, there is Levy. Is there enough time for one last pass? It's going to take something special, or it's going to take a mistake from the Williams driver. Let's ride with Levy, see how close he gets. It's all going to be about the exit of this corner. Who gets the better traction on the exit? Not the best. Looking for traction. You can hear the tires squealing. You just see the back end step out slightly. Of course, no DRS. All you have is your battery and slipstream. Just doesn't look like it's going to be enough, is it? The leaders have gone over the line. We're riding with these two because we don't know who's going to finish where. Spikes comes back across the track defensively. And he's done just enough to hold on to that position. Ooh, and I think that was a big crash by Levy. Well, there he is. Tried to make a spectacular end to a spectacular race. Andre just mowing the lawn. Not quite sure why. Boinkies over the line in P7, Top Gun P8, Rhino P9. I think Andre hasn't learnt his lesson about going off track in the final corner on the final lap. What happened last time? I believe that is the end. Everybody has crossed that checkered flag. Tenth place for Oshkotun, he picks up a point. Levy gets driver of the day. Remember, he finished in P5. A brief look at the podium, and then let's read through these results. Let me just get the correct screen, and there we go. So Jonas takes the victory, takes the fastest lap of the race, so he'll go with the 26 points for the night. Then the two Red Bulls, it's Ferrari and Wees, second and third. Spikes best of the rest for the Williams P4, but he had to defend that position at the end. Levy P5, that's the driver of the day, started in P16. Then Andre P6, Boinkies P7, Top Gun P8, Big Rhino P9, and Harsh Cartoon just squeezed into the points, P10. No points on the night for Skull, Martin, Boom, Virus, or Skulk, and of course the one DNF going the way of Sugar Bear. Folks, that is the end of SAFRL Season 11 Round 2. Now, a few things to mention before I go. Of course, for Round 3 of SAFRL, you guys watching, you're going to decide where that round is going to be. So I don't know where it's going to be. We're going to find out later on in the week. There will be a reveal on race day, I believe, or just before the race, like when we spin the wheel. And then we will find out where we are racing. Of course, Sunday, we're back for SKR in its usual time slot of 6 p.m. And then on Monday, we've got the League versus League. So it was just the 2 uploads in the week. We've turned them into 3 uploads in the week, and they're going to be one after the other. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I want to thank you all. We had quite a few viewers here at a stage. I'm going to check the Discord to see if there's anyone in there. Let's have a look. If there's anybody in the cool down room. If I can just find my own Discord server. There it is. Is anyone in the cool down room? No one's in the cool down room. So, wait, what? Ah, that's where that sound comes from. Ah, there we go. I was wondering where that came from. I just found it. So, of course, we're going to be back on Sunday, and then Monday, and then Tuesday. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank you for the likes. If you haven't left a like on the video, please do. It helps us get seen by more people. If it was your first visit to the channel, remember to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000. And again, thank you all. I'll leave you with a bit of music for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll see you soon. Till then, cheers.
Every turn on NFR, the rubber burns. Feel the thrill of every bend. Where the champions transcend.
Silverstone town, folks are whispering about a boy falling down. Got a seat from his daddy, money's the king. Driving that Williams ain't like riding free. Tires spin, engines roar, but the podium's far. His wheels hit the gravel, now there's damage to the car. Got the world at his feet, yet he fumbles the lead. His dreams race away, but he's not in the speed. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name that can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Now he's got his own team with a famous name. Aston Martin's the brand, but it's still the same shame. Every corner, every turn, the crashes unfold. Dreams wrapped in carbon fiber, truth left untold. Paddock folks shake their heads with a sigh as the green car spins and the hopes run dry. No matter the funds, it's a harsh game of pain. $1 million toys can't shelter the rain. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Daddy's money, daddy's ride, crashing dreams, nowhere to hide. Bought him a name but can't buy a skill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all uphill. Lance keeps trying, but the track's all